Hello, everybody. Welcome to Palm Paradise. My name is Christiana Lilly.
Hi, I'm Portia Smith-Dejan.
And I'm Olivia Holaus.
And this is Palm Paradise, and we are the Palm Queens. All right, so Palm Paradise is powered by Boca Magazine, where I am editor-in-chief. And so we are going to be talking about what's in the issue each time, and as well as things that are behind the scenes, maybe stuff that we didn't get into, or some cool people that we want to bring on the show to talk to even more.
Absolutely, and we're super excited to get started.
Absolutely, and we're super excited for the collab with Boca Magazine. We can't wait to see what this partnership looks like.
So obviously I'm with Boca Magazine, but these two ladies have been with Boca Magazine. I know you guys joke that it's like the mob. Once you're in, you can't leave. So here we are again.
We're a family. We're a family. Thick and thin, we're a family.
Okay. And we all work together, stared across each other from the hallway like,
Yeah.
And we had a good time those few years we were working together at the office.
Yeah.
So, but we're still connected. I'm the stock contributor for bocamag.com and Portia too.
Help still with the marketing department. Yeah, my agency.
all right. And I came back as
You boomeranged back.
I boomeranged back as editor-in-chief. I started in April, and our latest issue just hit the streets. November-December issue, which is obviously the holiday issue. I don't want to knock over our champagne that we brought.
Watch out for my champagne.
And this was all about holiday traditions, and that was something that was really fun. We talked to 4 different families about what they do for Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, and Kwanzaa, and that was really fun.
Wait, show the camera.
All right, so that was there, and we also went to Iceland in this issue. Our web editor, Tyler, went with his wife, and they went to Iceland, so you can read all about that.
Oh, the budget increased since we were there.
Well, Iceland is on my bucket list, so I definitely have to read up on that.
I love
Turkey
it.
is on my bucket list. Where would you want to go, Portia?
Maldives, still Maldives.
Maldives.
Still. Like, I am very much, I'm busy all the time. My brain is always going. I want to do nothing on vacation. Speaking of which, I know we're kind of going off topic, but are you guys the type of vacationer like that wants your itinerary full or no?
I mix it up. So whenever the day I know that we're landing, I don't plan anything because I'm like, you just want to unpack, get used to the jet lag, do nothing, maybe walk around. But throughout the trip, I do have things planned. Like I'll buy tickets to, like, for example, we went to Italy last year. So I was like, okay, we need tickets to go to see the Colosseum, to go to the Vatican, and then we'd have days where, like, we're just gonna walk around, or maybe we passed something while we were there and we want to check it out longer. So it's a mix of itinerary and relaxation.
I don't plan at all.
Same.
It's all about where the adventure is going to take me and get lost in the city or wherever we're visiting. I like to travel like a local. So that's kind of my thing.
I love that. My best ones to kind of just recalibrate are at a beach, doing nothing but eating and drinking by the pool or the beach. That's me. Like, I'm a happy person, and I feel like the vacation was achieved if I'm doing that. Most of my vacations aren't doing that. But yeah.
Well, I know I heard somebody was saying that their favorite vacations are going back to places that they've already been, because then you're not feeling that, like, I need to go to all these historical sites that are there. Like, you've already been there, you've already done it, and you can just relax on the beach or go back to this restaurant that you were just like, food was killer, we got to go back. So maybe I need to find my new favorite place that I need to go back to.
Well, mine is Paris. We know that.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so back to traditions.
Yes.
Sorry.
Well, these are our travel traditions. I'm trying to think. So I wrote about how something that's been a tradition for me is holiday ornaments, because we moved around everywhere. So it was always, we were in a different house, different school, different language, different place, because my dad's job, so I lived in 6 different countries. And so, as I wrote in my letter from the editor,
Which I love. That's like one of my favorite sections, by the way, is to read the letter from the editor.
Same.
So I talked about the comfort of tradition, and for me that was Christmas time, because then it's all the same ornaments, the same little Santa Claus, the same copy of The Night Before Christmas, and you're like, oh, something I know and have seen. Because when we moved around, even our furniture wasn't the same, because we would go into, like, they're like, here's your house.
Yeah, that's a nice tradition.
What about you?
Mine, I love the night that we put the Christmas tree up. It's typically beginning of December. We're kind of late when we do that, but put on the music, make some drinks, an Aperol spritz. Just get the kids involved, put up the ornaments. I don't know. There's something really special about that. Turning the house into a Hallmark movie, basically.
Yeah.
What about you, Portia?
I would say for us, it's a couple of things, right? My kids are older. They're 15 and 18. Pray for me. And when they were younger, what I've noticed is a lot of the stuff that like me and my husband did when they were younger, like eat the cookies, make the cookies, pretend like Santa was there, write a note from Santa, and do all of those ridiculous things. Like now, like literally, I've been on my hands and knees because my kids would camp out like downstairs and try to catch Santa every year. So the anxiety I would give myself for no reason at all, like on my hands and knees to not get caught in the dark. It's crazy. I've noticed fast forward, even as they're getting older, they still camp out, even though they know, I mean, listen, if you got kids, move them for a quick second. But even though there's no Santa, we'll still make the cookies and we'll still eat them. And we don't write the note to Santa, but we still do all those same things. Just
do they
with
still
them
get
older.
gifts from Santa?
No, they don't. They don't.
Okay.
But they still like the elf on the shelf. And now...
I never did Elf on the Shelf, so that's new for me.
Well, I was going to say, not to cut you off, but can we talk about a tradition I do not like is Elf on the Shelf. I forget where I hide him every year.
Every time.
I forget to move him at night.
Every time.
And so my kids wake up in the next morning and he's still sitting on that same mantle.
And then they look at you like something happened to whatever. Like he didn't move. And like, I really dropped the ball. I'll move tomorrow.
No, I just say he just really liked that spot. Yeah. Rocky just really loved it here.
Is his name Rocky?
Rocky.
Mine was, I think, Tiana. My kids would get mad. I would forget the elf's name every single time. It was insane. It's insane. But I say all of that, like, now that they're getting older, those traditions have ended, whereas, like, the magic and the mystery and the lies of it all.
The lies of Christmas.
But now they move her around, and they know that they touch her. I mean, whatever. They touch her.
They're now a part of some of that stuff.
So that's cool.
So something else that we had in the magazine, and this is something that's been going on after publisher John Schuff passed away, because he was really big on highlighting people making a difference in our community. And so for this episode, we're bringing in our hometown hero, Evan Darnell. And our hometown hero page is always somebody that, I know that Boca is really giving. The Boca community is very giving. You get these crazy press releases about like somebody made a $5 million donation. So we want to highlight the people that are more like grassroots on the scene, doing these things. And Evan is definitely one of them. And so I'm really excited that you and I had a chance to talk with him and talk about his Red Meat Lovers Club.
We got to meet
Evan. He also has a ton of puns. Like, he's taking the whole dad joke thing to a whole nother level. So definitely tune in and see that next. All right, everybody. So we have this issue's hometown hero, Evan Darnell.
Hello, Mr. Hero is here.
You were saying that you were trying to make that your new name in the house?
Well, yeah, if I walk through the house, I think it's only fair now that the word hero is yelled from every room that there's one of my family members in.
Yeah. So it's no more honey. It's hero, please. Come on
I never got honey. I've got a few other words sent at me, but it's all good. I'm happy to be a hero for a brief issue.
Okay. Right. So we were talking before about how the hometown hero is really people that are doing grassroots work. And there, so you're the Red Meat Lovers Club. So tell us a little.
Red Meat Lovers Club. What is it?
Tell us. What is this?
So what we are secretly, don't tell anyone. Now the secret's going to be out. We are a business networking club. Mm-hmm. The way that we business network is through philanthropy, eating, coming together, being united in causes. And we have grown from, I started in college back in the day. But we restarted in 2017. We've grown from 14 people all the way to over 5,000 people throughout the country.
So it's not just in South Florida anymore.
Not just in South Florida. We have different chapters in Texas, Nashville, New York, all the way up to Toronto and North Florida. But our nucleus is right here in Palm Beach County.
Mm-hmm. So this would be your biggest club, you'd say?
Oh, by far. Yeah. We do events now a couple times a month in South Florida. Every event we do, we partner with a different charity. And what an event may look like is different from month to month. So say, for instance, last month we rented out our friend's restaurant, Oceans 234, which we love. And this month on November 14th, all of your listeners are invited. You're now part of the Red Meat Lovers Club. We now have a very beautiful event, pro arm wrestling.
Ooh, oh.
Steak feast. With 8-time world champion Sarah Bachman. She's coming down from North Florida. I love that you have
a woman.
Yeah,
well, she is an 8-time world champion.
Yeah.
So if there's an 8-time world champion in the house of anything, you're pretty much the best that there ever was.
So we're talking arm wrestling?
We are talking arm wrestling. We're also talking big beef. And our charity partner on that, I partnered with Matthew Mashler of Signature Real Estate. We're honoring Helping Israel Fund. So we're going to be raising money for them. The way that we raise money at every event, and I'm proud to say, we're around $2 million raised since April of 2018. It's through live auction, silent auction, and raffle. That's when we say united in causes. We make sure that people really get behind the charity partner of the month.
Right.
And I remember when we were talking, and it's in the magazine as well, how many different, it's just a variety of nonprofits and causes. And one that really stuck out to me was when you said the school in your backyard, Atlantic High School, they didn't have helmets. Talk about that.
Well, I found out our kids go to St. Andrews. St. Andrews, you could imagine being private school, is well funded. But I drive by Atlantic High School almost every day. And the funding for, say, their sports is just not as great as, say, other schools. So when we found out that the school was using old helmets, which means has old concussion technology, which is a big topic. Which is a big deal. They needed new helmets. Every helmet is $500.
I had no idea that it cost that much.
Yeah, neither did I.
Me neither.
So when we were doing we raised the whole thing. We were able to underwrite the helmets for the team. We found out that every helmet is $500. So in our live auction, we weren't bidding on dollars. It was helmets. So we would do in increments of helmets. So lots raised anywhere between 1 and 10 helmets.
That's awesome. Now let's rewind to the beginning. What prompted you to start your organization?
It was a cold, bleak day in Tulane University, which there was not many of those. But I came into the student center and I saw a little flyer. It said "Save Students Advocating Vegetarian Eating," and immediately I knew, on my watch, going to school, there would not just be that club, but there would also be the Red Meat Lovers Club. And again, we had meetings back then. I was still the Secretary of Steak. And
if anybody isn't aware, this man loves puns. Like, you were made to do dad jokes.
If you give me a pun, I'll give you a hug.
And don't hold back, please.
I do not. So we had meetings. They were $7. Now our events are a little bit more expensive, but I mean a little bit, like almost 20x that. But we are giving away, we include, I should say, unlimited prime beef, open bar, open cigar. It's really a full evening of high quality deliciousness that we provide every event.
Yeah.
And something else I've been noticing, not just with your organization, but a lot of this new generation of philanthropists, they're not wanting to do the galas and sit down dinners and listening to keynote speakers. Everybody's getting a little bit more creative. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I am retired, or I thought I was retired, I should say. I wore a suit a lot of my career in the restaurant business in New York City. I am not a suit guy anymore. Yeah. I don't want to be. To me, it's restricting. What I want to do is go into any room and everyone be comfortable. So when you come to our events, there will be people in sports coats, not a lot of ties, but people may want to get more dressed up, which is amazing, which is great. But you're also going to see someone wearing a t-shirt and jeans. And quite frankly, the guy in t-shirt and jeans is probably way more successful than the guy in a sports coat. You never know who's going to come to our events. And I just want to create an air of like being comfortable. That's the only thing I want to create.
Yeah, I will say that when I go to the events, the galas and all that, my favorite part is the cocktail hour because you actually get to talk with everybody. You know, once you sit at a table, you're restricted. You're stuck at that table.
Exactly. So, that's why we do a lot of communal tables.
Yeah.
In March, it's one of my favorite events. We've done it 6 years at the Great Smoke. It's one table, 200 people. Because to me, that visual is unbelievable. We're creating a sense of family. We also do cocktail hour. But what we say about cocktail hour is this. And this is a little secret about going to a Red Meat Lovers Club event. Rookies fill up on the appetizers. Okay? So you come in, you're like, it's going to be light bites. No. Thankfully, we work with Potions in Motion where they drop a sharp elbow from the top turnbuckle and they crush you on the apps. But you're like, this is probably just a dinner. The dinner has just begun at our events. When you sit down, it's normally very large format. We'll either do plated, we'll do meat stations. I ordered a 70-pound piece of beef for.
How does that even happen?
Well, I pick up the phone. I say, "Give me a 70-pound piece of beef." We do a steamship coming up on November the 14th. It's just fun. We make sure that people are having a great time. We lead with the food. Going to these galas, we don't throw galas. I don't want to be in the gala business. What I want to be is having a great time. People getting introduced to charities. And then every single event we do, we'll raise a bunch of money, but then a few people may splinter off and talk to the charity and be like, you know what? I'm really into your message. Let's talk more. And I think that's why the charities like working with us, because we pull from our donor base, not theirs. And we basically gift wrap these events for them. And I'm not, in the beginning, back in September of 2017, when we restarted, I was driven by creating just fun dinners. After so many fun dinners, what I'm driven to is the philanthropy side. That's what drives me now because, yes, I can throw a birthday party to myself 3 times a month throughout the country, which is amazing. But I want to make sure that we leave a bigger footprint. And the way that we leave bigger footprint is partnering with these amazing causes.
And how do you pick the nonprofits you work with?
Thank you for asking. So the way that I make a living is through sponsorships. We work with about 20 to 25 different businesses every month promoting them. They are our partners in crime.
Partners in Prime, if you didn't catch that.
Enjoy that pun. So the way that we pick our charities is through our sponsors. I may pick a couple throughout the year. I love Selfless Love Foundation. They're part of the inner circle. But there's a lot that we work with. Play for Blake, Saving Jordan Ogman. They're really very close to the heart. But like Matt Mashler picked our next one on November the 14th. And then to look forward.
And he's the Secretary of Brisket, I believe.
He's the SOB.
That's right.
He is our Secretary of Brisket. Because we partnered both clubs. I also have Red Meat Kosher Club, which is everything that we do, but the food happens to be kosher. December, looking forward, we're working with Impact 100 Men's Palm Beach. That will be at Lotus, December the 10th. And then January, we have our boxing event, our Ribcage Battle. February, breaking news. We rented out the entire Warren restaurant to work with the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. And then one more I'll say, in March, my favorite restaurant in South Florida, Anthony's Runway. We're taking it over, which is rare.
Rare.
Someone is privy to my pun.
I'm paying attention.
Yeah, that's going to be in March 10th. Anthony's Runway Takeover.
That's an incredible restaurant.
Yeah. Oh, literally my favorite restaurant.
Yeah. Well, you said that you're a little bit Italian mobster and Jewish grandma.
Well, that's on my auction style.
Yeah.
You know, as you can see, there is no neck to be had in this.
Watch us on YouTube if you're listening to this to see the lack of neck.
Yeah, there's no neck. So that like tends to lead towards like the Goomba in me. And then the genetics is truly the Jewish grandmother in me. So I have a certain je ne sais quoi, if you will. I have auctioned off my mother's brisket for over $1,000.
Wow.
That's for people that just want to give, you know, and there's going to be people in the room that are there for the charity. They're the ones raising their hands first and foremost, but we come with really excellent auction prizes. So people may just want a trip to Kentucky to go drink bourbon for 3 days.
Yeah.
And so you are a father of 2. Your son just had his bar mitzvah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And your daughter really wanted to see Taylor Swift.
Yes.
And the efforts you went to get her tickets got you into the Sun Sentinel. Tell us about
front
that.
page. Thank you very much. It was a big press week for me between Boca Mag and so I had an offer out there. I was going to trade a few pounds of Japanese Wagyu, a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle, a box of cigars. It did not happen. But I can tell you, she would have been at the concert if she didn't just see Taylor Swift in Tampa. So she already saw her. If she didn't already see her, we would have been there. I would have been getting a lot of friendship bracelets. I probably would have made a few. It would have said like RMLC or WAYGU, Wagyu. I did not, which is fine.
Yeah. But that was just fun, that story.
The whole thing is fun.
Yeah.
You know, I look at living around here, there's a lot of good stuff to do. There's a lot of good things that you could participate in. I like to lend to that fabric of deliciousness.
Yeah. So now that all of our viewers and listeners are fully invested in your project here, where can people look online or follow on social media to keep in touch with what you have going on?
I don't normally offer this, but for your listeners,
okay,
I will approve them in our private Facebook group, Red Meat Lovers Club. Right now, there is a picture of Sarah and our the
arm wrestler.
Arm wrestler.
Okay, I can start
beef
getting
battled. Our next event is Beef Battle, or I'm sorry, I apologize. Beefbrawl.com. And people can follow us on our private Facebook group. The easiest way to find out about the events is either our website, rmlclub.com. But then we have like over 1,000 followers that follow us on Eventbrite because you get immediate like notifications of our events. And there's certainly no lack of events. We are going to Cuba December 3rd to the 5th. We like to go travel once a quarter. We had to postpone our Cuba trip because they lost power in the country. So now we are back-to-back trips. And in January, we're going to Las Vegas to discover the greatest porterhouse the city has to offer. So that will be an adventure. I drive the van, the meatmobile, if you will. And we come together. A lot of our more devout followers really travel around the world with us, trying to, you know, become to layer on friendships.
That's awesome.
Right,
That's
well,
great.
Thank you so much, Evan. You
Thank
can read
you.
more about him in the November-December issue of Boca Magazine. I hope that you become the hero in your home by name.
I hope so as well. I did try to make the story scratch and sniff.
Yes,
but the technology behind Boca
we're just not there yet.
We're not there yet. But one day I will have a scratch and sniff story.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Evan.
Thank you.
Wow, Evan was such a pleasure to me. I learned so much.
Sorry.
I learned so much in regards to what he is accomplishing and doing for the community, which got me thinking about our local hometown heroes. And I know that we also just had the Women's Volunteer of the Year and our very own Olivia was there, nominated.
For those of you that are listening and not watching, we're all like looking over at her and she's being very bashful.
Yeah.
So Woman Volunteer of the Year, you were one of the nominees.
Big honor.
Yeah, 23 women were honored this year as nominees from all sorts of different. So how did you find out when you got nominated? Like, were they just like surprised, or did they tell it? Like, how did that go down?
I mean, I was actually on vacation during the summer, and I got an email from Mary Czar, the executive director of the Boca Raton Historical Society, saying, hey, we're nominating you. And, I was super thrilled. It's an organization that I've been involved with for over 5 years. I'm the immediate past president. So definitely near and dear to my heart, but it was such an amazing experience. And being on that stage with 42 other incredible women and just looking around, I'm like, wow, women empowering women, women supporting women, women supporting the community. Really, I'm talking about it, I'm getting like chills, goosebumps. I didn't know how I would feel, but in that moment on stage, I kind of wanted to get teary-eyed. I kind of wanted to get emotional because, it just was really, really nice to share that stage with these amazing women.
And this is the signature event for the Junior League of Boca Raton every year, and it just explodes. Like, I was hearing about the first one, like, in the 80s, and how, like, it was this tiny little, let's honor little volunteers.
Well, what's funny, too, is that the first woman volunteer luncheon I went to was with Boca Magazine, and I had just started working at Boca Mag, and I remember being with Portia and you, Christiana, and literally thinking to myself, what is this? Like, oh my gosh, like in awe. So fast forward a few years later, being a part of it was really great.
Yeah.
And congratulations to Terry Fideli.
Terry Fideli was this year's winner for her work with the Christine E. Lynn College of Nursing.
Amazing.
She's unbelievable. She's actually one of my mentors. And I'm just so happy for her. I was probably one of the first to jump out of my seat. I was really just so happy that she got that honor.
I know, and then from everybody I was hearing, they were like, it's about time.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that she's only been in Boca for like 15 or 16 years, and then just like now just being such a powerhouse within Boca and with the nursing program and healthcare and everything, it's so amazing. And so I'm really looking forward to interviewing her for Boca Magazine for our future issue, where we're going to talk to her about the work that she has been doing and about her background in healthcare. And something I noticed there was a theme was this year they also gave out an award. They don't do this every year, the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Oh.
And Nancy Brinker won that. And I've heard of her, but like it wasn't until recently that I realized that she's a Palm Beach County resident. She's the founder of the Susan G. Komen Foundation.
What?
Fighting breast cancer. And then she was also an American ambassador to Hungary. And then she won the presidential award from President Obama. And she just is so distinguished. Wow. And so seeing them both up on stage, I was just like, we are like
That's
in the
amazing.
presence of giants.
Powerhouse.
I know,
right there.
Yeah, like women actually changing the world and making a difference. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, and so we're also, I'm like, can somebody that big be in our magazine? And so I know that she founded the Susan G. Komen Foundation, and after raising like $3 billion for breast cancer research.
Who's Susan B. Komen?
Susan G. Komen was her sister who died from breast cancer, and so she took it up. So she took it upon herself that she was like, I want to make sure that nobody else has to deal with this disease. And I know for me personally, I have 2 family members who are breast cancer survivors. But then because it's not enough, she was like, okay, well, I've raised all this money. I can hand over the reins to somebody else. I'm going to start another foundation. And she has the Promise Fund, where she's really working to enhance accessibility to breast cancer treatments. Because a lot of people where maybe not even breast cancer, any disease, where maybe they just can't afford treatment or they don't know where to go. And so she's trying to work on that. So
I love that.
I know.
That's great.
Kudos.
Very, very well deserved.
Yeah. Lots of girl power here.
Yes. So.
Absolutely.
And we can't stop. We got to keep going.
Yes. Exactly.
Yes.
So I guess the next thing we want to talk about is arts and culture.
Yeah. We have a lot of that going on here in our community.
We do.
In our culture corner, I think we should call it that from now on. Our
culture
culture corner.
Yeah.
Culture corner.
So that's actually something with Olivia you can talk about, because it's also the Boca Historical Society coming up with the 100 years. You guys have a really big exhibit.
Yes, we do. We have the legacy of Addison Meisner. So the exhibit is opening on November 13th. I hope I remember correctly. But yes, November 13th. And it's just really great. It's a culmination of really great pieces from his collection. And I saw them putting it up the other day, so I got a little sneak peek. And it's really great. I mean, Addison Meisner was only in Boca for a very short time.
You think that he was this just guy that lived here forever, him and his Johnny Brown monkey.
Yeah.
I love Johnny Brown.
No, and he was in Palm Beach, came to Boca, and I don't even think he made it really a full 2 years. But then, the economy went bust and he went bankrupt and he went back to Palm Beach. So he was in Boca for a very, very short time. But my goodness, every other community is called something Meisner, either Addison or Meisner, but what he left with his architectural, inspirations is long lasting. So
Huge.
the exhibit, shines a spotlight on that.
Well, he is Boca.
Yeah, everywhere you look.
Like, I know that we do a Best of Boca issue every year where we talk about like the highs and lows and the fun things going on in Boca. And one of my favorite covers, this was from, I think it was before I started at Boca Magazine, or maybe the year before I started. And we had a picture of Addison Meisner, and he's in black and white, and he had a little party hat on. And like everybody in Boca knows, like, oh, that's Addison Meisner.
Yeah, he was quite big and robust and was not a drinker, but loved food. So he liked a good time.
Yeah.
Apparently at the Boca Resort, he loved the Boca-roon. He kind of made like his own take on the macaroon. And so you can get the Boca-roon at the Boca Resort.
Yeah, but next year's going to be a big year. It's, Boca Raton Centennial.
Yep.
The Addison is also celebrating its centennial in November of 2025. And then the following year, the Boca Raton celebrates its centennial. So a lot of hundreds going on.
Yeah.
But the Boca Raton Historical Society is very involved, in all of that because they're the keepers of history.
Of
so,
course.
yeah.
I love that.
I can see why you were nominated for their,
I mean,
their volunteer,
seriously.
for Woman Volunteer of the Year.
Oh, I'm very passionate. And I think, especially with my 2 young kids, I think it's important for us to understand our history and to have our kids understand where they come from.
Yeah.
And we have so much to be proud of.
Absolutely. And you actually went to school like here and
I did. I moved to Boca Raton when I was 9 years old. So
yeah.
I really call this place home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's rare nowadays. We have a lot of people that kind of come in a little later, so it's even more sentimental value. Because this is...
I've seen it change a lot.
Yeah.
So, Christiana, what are you up to?
So this week, I'm checking it out as the media preview, which I'm really excited about. We talk about it in the magazine as well. It is Splendor and Passion, which is opening at the Boca Museum of Art. It is in collaboration with the Hispanic Society Museum, they have the largest collection of Spanish artwork. And so it's actually going to be traveling throughout the country to 2 more places, I think. And so the fact that they chose the Boca Museum of Art to be their sort of inaugural, place to show off these pieces. Right. They had 57 pieces that are lent from the 1600s in Spain. And it's sort of like that, what you think of with that kind of, iconic, pieces from back then, like just really detail oriented, very ornate. Yes, exactly. Very ornate. So that's going to be on display through the new year. And so I'm really excited to check that out and see that. And again, just showing what we are as a city, that they were like, you know what, Boca Museum, you guys can be the kickoff for this huge exhibit.
Well, it is a great museum. So.
Yeah.
And what about you, Portia?
We're actually just traveling to New York, and I guess I'm going to be taking a page out of Olivia's book because we're going to go wherever the wind takes us. We got a lot to kind of expose the girls to because they've been to New York in summer, and New York in summer and New York in like fall
completely
and
different.
Winter is such a different vibe. So I can't wait to get all the feels and wear some long coats and boots and all the things I can't do.
Take
here
that
in
out of
South Florida.
storage.
And talk about all the amazing museums in New York City. So you'll get a lot of culture from that trip.
Yes. So that's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, I would want to go to the
And some
Met.
good food.
I haven't been to the Met.
Yeah, the Met is unbelievable. Try and
never
go.
been.
Try and go.
Yeah.
I feel like your girls would like it too.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to try to go to the Met.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll tell us about it next time.
All right. Awesome.
So that is the first episode.
I know. Wow.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Palm Paradise. I think we should toast, guys.
Oh my gosh.
We poured this earlier,
We
but we were so
did.
busy talking.
Yes.
Congratulations to us.
Yes.
Palm Paradise, powered by Boca Magazine, where we're going to be talking about everything in the magazine, as well as stuff that didn't fit, or maybe things that when we're chatting with people that it didn't fit because we got word count.
Absolutely. So we've got Palm Beach County like covered. So we're Boca and beyond, and we're here, the Palm Queens, and we're going to be entertaining you guys for months and months to come.
Yeah, and so we are going to be on YouTube if you're liking to watch your podcast, as I know a lot of people do. And then, Portia, you want to share where people can listen to us?
We can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts. I mean, if you're hearing this, you kind of already found us. But, you know,
where else can you find us, just in case?
But you'll also find us on Spotify, on iHeart, and on Amazon Music.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys all so much, and we will
follow us on
IG. We are at Palm Paradise Podcast. We were going for alliteration there, and then we're also going to be doing a lot of stuff with Boca Magazine, obviously, and teaming up with people that we have on the show. So
TikTok. We're also on TikTok.
We're everywhere.
We're everywhere.
Olivia was very like, I don't know about TikTok, and Portia said we must do TikTok.
We gotta be on TikTok. I'm telling you. The podcasters go to TikTok.
No, just so much going on. It's a lot. It's a lot of noise, but listen to us.
Yes, so we got you covered. It's a lot, but we got you covered.
All right. So we will see you guys in our next episode. Bye.